It's Jag Time in Robb's garage. 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 Here we are again in the wonderful world of Robb's garage. Let me put the mandolin away and I'll tell you what we're doing. I would like to also thank you for being patient with me as I figure out how to do these videos, how to make them seem watchable, and the like. There we go. Here we go. I've got an external microphone on the camera today, so I'm trying to be careful of that. Yeah, this has been a bit of an experiment, figuring out how to videograph myself with only my old LG Stylo 4 telephone, or device as I like to call them. Just pausing it, not doing any edits because I'm lazy, and so thank you all for putting up with it, the 4 or 5 of you who watch these videos. Anyway, in fact, this is the second day of this video that I'm going to show you today, because I did one yesterday when I was working on it, and fortunately I watched it before I posted it, and it was unwatchable. It was just terrible. So let's see if I can do a better job of it today. So anyway, what's going on right now is, as you can see, the Special is up on the stands, and the axle's out. In that other video that was poorly shot and narrated, you saw how the axle fell right out. Well, now it's on its dolly, and so I can roll it around and get it out of the way. But you will notice right here that I've got the rotating head from an engine stand bolted to the back of the chassis. And that is because I am creating a rotisserie for this thing so that I would be able to turn it around, suspend it from each end and turn it around, and not have to manhandle the thing on the jack stand. So I'm going to put the camera carefully back into the mic stand, and there we have it. So that I can put this thing, have it suspended in the air and rotate it around and do my welding on the bottom that I need to do, and then actually turn it to some places, because there are welds that will need to be done in corners, and it'll just make life a whole lot easier for me. With any luck, I'm not chopping the top of my head off, because I've been doing that too in the videos. Let's see. Let's back the camera up a bit, and I will explain a couple of things. So, originally, way back in the day, when I was I had initially started this project within the first year, and was showing pictures on the Low Cost USA website, which I still do, even though I haven't updated that build log in more than a month, because I'm actually having a lot more fun doing this. One of the guys on that website recommended to me that perhaps I should build a rotisserie, and initially I thought, well, no, it'll take time out of the actual build, and there's a lot to do, and it's a heavy commitment time building a car, so I didn't want to take the time to do that. But then I recently remembered that I have this thing here, this engine stand. This is a 1,000 pound capable engine stand that I bought from Summit way back in sometime around 1984, probably. And it's followed me around a good long time. At one point in its life, it had a 400 cubic inch Pontiac V8 on it. So it can certainly handle a lot of weight. I don't know how much that thing weighed, but who knows. I don't think it was quite 700 pounds, but it's a big fat lump of cast iron. And then at another point in its life, it had the wind closed the door, thank you. another point in its life, it had a Ford 1600cc CVH engine out of my old 84 Escort GT, which is a whole other story. But I've had this for a long ass time, and I thought, well, why don't I just get another one? Why don't I just go to Harbor Freight and get one? Because you can buy them; they're cheap, like $40 to $50. And so that's what I did. I went to Harbor Freight. Excuse me, that's in the way. And I got this thing. And like I said, I paid my $50, and it seemed to work. It seemed to be okay. But what I did do is, I don't know if you can see right here, I cut its head off and had to raise it up to the same height as this one, and then angle it so that it was a little more straight. So these two heads are at the same angle, and they're at the same height. And I can now put the two rotating heads, one on this end and one on the other end, and make it so that the whole thing will rotate on relatively on the same axis. Now let's pause the camera for a second. Okay, so anyway, what I have to do, let's drag the table over, grab a pair of, let's grab a clean pair of gloves. Try not to chop the top of my head off again, because that does happen. Put on a clean pair of gloves. So we have here the rotating head. Here's the rotating head from my 1,000-pound stand. And what I did last night was I made this piece right here that attaches to the front of the chassis like so. This kind of slides right on there. You can see it's got a couple of pieces of 1x3 83 wall and a couple of scraps of my my chassis material, the 1 1/4 square by 83 wall, and it just kind of slips right into place here, boom, like so. It will be drilled for some 1/2-inch bolts, and then there will be straps made to clamp it in place, just like I've done for the, did for the one in back. And then what I've got to do is take and drill it so that this thing sits on it right about there, kind of like that, at about that height, so that the bottom edge of this is 22 inches from the garage floor right here, because that's what that one's at. That one's at 22 inches, and from the bottom edge of that that rotating head, so it's got to be 22 to the bottom edge of this rotating head. And I've got 2 marks on this right here that pretty much set that distance. So, pop it into place, and we'll clamp it in place. Let's bring the camera over so that you can see what I'm doing, and try to place it in such a way that I don't chop the top of my heads off, and so that all you're looking at is my knees and my legs. Okay, so you'll notice I'm wearing a jacket today. It's August 23rd, 2019. The reason I'm wearing a jacket is because today's one of those rare cool days in between the heat waves. I shouldn't say rare, but it is a cool day in between heat waves. So I love these clamps. So we take that, and then we grab this thing and eyeball it into place on its marks, and then squeeze the clamp into place to hold it there, like so. There's that. That looks about right. Let's grab a measuring device. Here we have a measurer. Going to be measuring, you know. And then we take a look and see what And that right there, the bottom edge of that is, well, it's a little more than 22. I think I can drop that down a little bit more. Let's see. Yep, that's a little too far. Bring it up. And there's that. That looks about right, actually. Eyeball it into place. And there we have, well, it's 22 1/16, but that's close enough to the one at the rear. So this is where this thing needs to go. Let's grab a Sharpie and make some marks, shall we? Yeah. Oopsie. All sorts of, ow. Make a new mark right here, right here, right here, right here, and then, see, and then to attach down here at the bottom, I'm just going to measure the middle of this tube and drill through right there, and we'll make some flat, we'll take some 1 1/4 by 1/8 flat strap and make the clamp straps that will hold this thing into place. They're going to have to bend around this tube right here, which is on these two tubes define this plane of the outer surface of the radiator bulkhead, whereas this tube is on the inside of these and is designed to stabilize and strengthen the forward lower control arm mounting. So I got to take this apart, I got to do some drilling, and then we'll do a test fit. Pause the camera. Drilling it all the way through. Just make sure that a little bit of oil. I like to use 3-in-1 oil for drilling. Makes my drills happy. A little bit of oil down through there. There we go. Now we're going to go through the other wall of the square tube and both walls of the rectangle. Come on. Outer wall of the rectangular tube. And there's tube. Time to enlarge the holes. Okay, so let's, we've drilled us some 1/2-inch holes. Let's do a test fit on our rotating head. You go there. Oh, that looks nice. That also looks really nice. Fits. I need longer bolts. Grab the can of 1/2-inch hardware. Yay! Right here. 1/2-inch hardware, a lot of which was bought for the, let's see, what do we got here? What do we have here in our, this, oh, that's going to be just right. And then, oops, plank. These nice big grade 8 washers. Hello over there. I know it's angled down a lot. You probably can't see me very well. But there we have that. And we will easily be able to throw a nut on each of these. This is just temporary, so that I can get a good marking on the other one. There's that and that and that. That looks pretty great. There we go, there's that. Those are right there. Let's give them a tink. Ready? Boom. Boom. And also on you, the calibrated eyeball says you look good. Yeah. Once more with feeling. Nice. And then we do this. We move the camera, firstly. Get a nice panorama of the workshop. There it is. In all its glorious messiness. Tilt it up so you can see what I'm gonna do. Grab the chassis fixture, get out of my way, and then also grab my center punch and my mechanic's hammer, and bang! There's that. Repeat. Repeat for this side. Out of the way, you. And whoops. Missed my fingers. Okay, it's time to pause and drill some more holes, and then we're going to mount this thing onto the chassis. Need a bare finger for pressing the pause. Okay, once again, so we've drilled our holes and we made our straps, and we bolted it all together. Here it is right here with the rotating head on it. I have to crouch down because, of course, I can't get enough camera angle on it. If I stand up like this, where does head go? I don't know. Anyway, so here's the holding fixture. Here's the 1,000-pound rotating head. It's bolted on tightly with these two, and it's gonna fit real nice, like so. Boom, and it so happens that I have center lines scribed into this chassis, so that's the middle. And then here are my attachment straps. This is just simple 1 1/4 inch. Well, I believe it's 1 1/4. Yeah, it's 1 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch thick strap. That you can see I've added a bend in it because it has to go down this way, then snake around this tube right here, and then go back on the other one. So let's bolt it on and see how it works. Oh, and they're marked differently because each side, my calibrated eyeball was about 1/8 of an inch off on the position of the bolts. So down here at the bottom, push them through, take our strap, snake it in there. One bolt goes through, and another bolt goes through. Let's put some nuts on that. Washer for you because washers are groovy. And down the bottom we get this guy, and in it goes. And because impact guns are fun, come on you. That, and down here on the bottom. That. Nummer 2. Where are you? I'll put a, I'm sure we have a washer here somewhere. There we go. Come on you. There's that. And once more with feeling, we get this guy right here. And he gets a washer on the outside, but maybe not a washer on the inside. Because we have the strap. Come on. See. Oh, I like to use my mechanic's hammer. There we go. Big hammer fixes everything. There's that. And our 3/4 inch wrench. And the impact gun. And there's that. And there's that. And now the 1,000-pound rotating arm, the 1,000-pound rotating head is on this chassis. And so the next, whoops, come down here so you can see me. The next thing you're going to see is me dragging out my 1-ton shop crane, picking up this entire chassis and fitting these rotation heads, fitting the rotating heads into their respective stands. Sounds pretty exciting. But first I gotta clean up some junk. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to mention that I did at this end. I've done it to the top, I might do it to the bottom. You can see right here I've got this little strap as a spreader bar to control these two so that they don't slide out any wider. And if this thing rolls, when this thing rolls sideways, if they bend in their position, if they rotate on that row of nuts right there, I would rather it didn't come loose and slide around. I may very well add a spreader, add a position locating bar on those two as well. So that's another thing that's happened here and may very well happen right now. But as you can see, the chassis has turned into a giant shelf. So I have to do some cleaning before I can try to pick this thing up. And then there should be some excitement. That's right. Okay, so once more into the pause. Okay, so time has gone by. It's later in the evening, and I've had my dinner, and I've cleaned all the stuff off the chassis, and I've already done one test lift. In the interest of full disclosure, get out of the way. Out of the way. Out of the way. I've already done one test lift, and I think that it'll balance the best way with the straps in this orientation. you. And let's see what happens, shall we? Oh, that looks good. Hey, look at that, will you? It could have. Well, there's one in. Now, this strap on the back here so happens it's got a tear in it right there. We don't like that. Oops. I know. Is this more than 20% risk? Maybe. Get out of there. You. Okay. Well, looks like there's that. And let's set that end back down on the ground, shall we? That's a good idea. Well. Oh my, look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. I need, what do I need? Oh, what do I do? Oh, here it is. Missing the spring clip, but that's okay. Missing here like so. Twist it a little, put in the pin. There's that. I know it's not sitting flat, but you know. Then where's my 3/4 inch wrench? I need that. 3/4. Actually, excuse me. I'm pulling this pin. That's not good. Because it needs to sit flat, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Look at that. Do fully tighten the nut on this end, tighten the bolt, tighten the pinch bolt, and boom. That looks okay to me. Let's let this all the way off. Boom. Well, the chassis is now on its rotisserie. That looks pretty good. Let's disconnect the straps and see about spinning it around. It's rather exciting, don't you think? Okay, so, as I am so fond of saying, I am going to count this as an unmitigated success. As you can see, the chassis is now fully supported by the engine stands in its rotisserie, and let's see how well it rotates. Loosen the pinch bolt on the 1,000-pound stand, and then here we go. Gently now. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at even more than that. Nice and easy. Soft and squeezy. Let's holding it on its side. It's not slipping and sliding. Turn it some more. What was that? Let's go take a look. Oh, looking good. Looking pretty good. Oh, that's just, I know what that is. It's not moving from the center, from its centrally located position. Here we have, oh, I see, nope. Yeah, it's doing all right. There it is, upside down, and ready for me to weld various areas that need to be welded, like right here, and right here, and right here, and other place here, and just a whole bunch of places. There's areas up here that need to be welded, these tubes right here, and oh, these guys need to be fully welded. Yeah. The other thing that I, right there, right here, right there. Oh yeah, this has actually worked out pretty well. So I count my rotisserie as an unmitigated success. Is what I do. It's a little. The two heads aren't quite in line. They're just a little bit misaligned. Tiny little bit, like maybe, I don't know. But this one seems to be, this head seems to be angled into its receptacle. The axle of the rotating head seems to be pivoted in its collar right here, but I don't mind that so much because it adds a little bit of braking, so it's not gonna fall over on me too freely. Yep, I didn't actually need to tighten that bolt, so that, boom, send that all the way. And yeah, cool, we're good. I'm calling that a success for the evening. I gotta put all this stuff away, but you guys don't need to watch that. So yeah, success. We have a rotisserie. Jag Time in Robb's garage.